SpeedyBee has been on a roll as of recent with their modern and affordable electronics and their full-size drone like this B35. Now they're back again with a new frame, this time the Mario5. So let's open this up and see how it looks. Okay, so here it is, the Mario5, and as you can see, this thing comes in a different package compared to your traditional SpeedyBee box. Now the Mario5 comes in two versions, whether it be a dead cat or a true X version. Today we have the dead cat version, which is good for wider camera angles and for obstruction-free recording. So let's open this up and see how it looks. All right, so here are the parts for this frame. Now the option that you see here is the Mario Lite. This comes in three different versions as well: Mario Lite, Mario Advance, and the Mario Pro. Now don't fret, you can also order the Mario Lite and later on upgrade those to the Mario Advance or the Mario Pro. In my case, I do have the accessories here for the Mario Advance, and we'll put these additional parts in here and make this look a little bit more pretty and give it more features. So we'll take a look at that once we assemble the frame. So let's open these things up and see what we have. Now the first thing here I see is like a top plate and a bottom plate. Nice carbon. So we got three plates here. Looks like a bottom plate, a mid plate, and a top plate. As far as the arms here, these are specific. When we're talking about the dead cat, we do have some front arms. These are the longer ones, and then we have the arms for the rear. Now if you have a traditional X version of this frame, they're all going to be the same arms. And then last but not least, you have a bag here with some accessories. Now some of these aren't really needed, only because we do have the advanced kit as well. So we'll see how some of this works. We have some of the camera mounts, some TPU for the legs, we'll install these later, battery mat, some hardware, and then we also have some mounts here for your camera, DJI-03. I also have an additional set right here, and I also have some SpeedyBee battery straps that came along with my frame. Okay, so we have all our parts here organized on the table. We're gonna start off with the bottom plate and the arms here. Put this through here. It's gonna go right through the center hole right here, and then same for the rear ones. Just gonna go through that center hole right here. Now you have these two little carbon plates that goes into these slots right here. It just slides in here, and that's that. All right, it's gonna stay put once we get the bolt in the center. So in 3x12, we have 4 of them. We just need 2 for the front and the back. Well, 1 for each, 1 for the front. So the way we're gonna do this is just put the bolt through here first. There it is. Oh, come on, stay in there. That goes like this. This one goes through here. I guess I'll do the same for the back as well. Just put that in there. It's like a little puzzle. There you go. Put this one through here. It locks in place. Same for the back. We'll do the same thing. Put the center one through here. Put that through here, and it just kind of locks in place. Simple as putting these on here. They should line up with these 2 holes, and then we can just torque it down. And I forgot to put the stupid stand, the little, damn it. So I gotta take it out again. It's tricky. There's no way to put these 2 walls on there. So, golly, not the easiest frame to build. All right, so now I wanna put these walls in here. Make sure that they fit in here. They do fit, obviously. That kind of keeps the arms in place, to be honest with you. There it is. That keeps the arms from moving. All right, and then if you look at the underside of here, there's also some grooves here for that same plate. And we're gonna take a note of that while we're torquing this down. This is gonna be tricky. All right, here I am. I'm gonna try to do it this way. Just tack it on for now. And then we can worry about that side piece, which it actually went into place actually. Now, I forgot to show you guys that middle piece, that little tunnel. I'll show again, but that's a little housing actually to store your capacitor if you want to use that. Not too bad. So it does kind of lock in place. I'm impressed with that. Now, I didn't tighten it all the way down. We'll do that a little bit later. Besides that, we have these nuts here pressed into the frame, and these are gonna be for your stack, your 30 by 30 millimeter stack here, so full size stack. There's no holes here for a 25.5 or a 20 by 20 on this one. So besides that, looks pretty good. Now at this point, I could put the stand-ups on here. I probably will do that right now. We have a whole bunch of them right here. All right, we'll be using the 3mm by 16, I think. These are long enough. Just gonna go here, 3 by 16 for the standoffs. I'm just gonna screw that on my finger. And here's the last one. Okay, for these last two standoffs for the right here, I'm not gonna put them on yet, only because it requires a different screw, a bolt. Let's pull it out. It's a 3 by 6. And I also want to delay that as well because I have to put a TPU part in the back as well. So I do have the advanced kit right here. You can also order this as an accessory. Let's open this up. And this gives you a little bit more option, more customizability on this frame. And then here are the parts that we're talking about. This one has to go in here, right in between. And then we also have our XD60 connector that goes into the frame as well. So a pretty cool, clean install. Let's see if I can slip this in here and then we can install the rest. So technically I could put the standoffs in here before that because there are some recess holes in here where this bolt is gonna rest in. So that's pretty cool. We're just gonna put the first one in here. So technically we can put this in. All right, let's tighten that up a little bit because I don't know if I'll have access to it later again once I put this TPU on here. TPU in here, it's gonna be a tighter fit now since there's a friggin' bolt in place there. There we go, kind of clicks into place. That receiver plate back here, and it's pretty cool that it's transparent so you can see the status of your receiver while it's flashing. And this just goes right into here and it screws into the TPU. All right, that looks good. You can slide this over here if you want to. I will. That slid in there pretty well. Now this is for like a SMA connector. I'm not gonna install it now because I don't think I'll be using this with the VTX that I have for this drone. But your XD60 will also go in here as well. I did not put it in here because I still have to solder it. Okay, so let's assemble the front half or part of this drone. I have my action camera here. We actually have this part for the front as well. We'll be using these alloys here for the front to mount the camera. So you're gonna have these I say stand-up, I guess they are standoffs. These are 3 of them. And we're just gonna slide them through these holes right here. Let's see here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It looked a little bit harder. So there's one in here. And then there's 2 for this TPU. So one in the front. That's gonna give it some structural rigidity and a mounting point for these plates. All right, you can't put them in reverse. It's impossible because there's some grooves on the bottom here so that they can line up pretty easily. Let's do the bottom first. All right, so we're gonna take this out. Put one bolt through here, pretty straightforward. And that goes straight through this quote unquote standoff thingy. I won't screw it all the way because I have to do the top as well with the other part. This goes right here. All right. I'm not gonna tighten it all the way down because I wanna have some space on top for the action camera mount. And it's the same here as well. There's 2 holes right here, front and back. And that's pretty much how it's gonna go. We're just gonna put the front one first. All right, and then the last one. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'll tighten this one a little bit more. There you go. Okay, now that we have this on the actual frame, I need to screw this to secure it. We'll do the side pieces later. And this requires an M3 bolt. Hopefully that one stays in there. That's now secured to the bottom plate. The wider pieces on top, and there's only one way you can put them in, so it's impossible to get them wrong. The top one does use a longer bolt, so we'll do that one first, or try to, and that goes, oh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna go straight through. All right, that looks good. And then we're gonna use the shorter M3 for the bottom one. Every time I make these videos, I'm always like, man, I still gotta take this thing apart because I do have to build the drone itself when it's all said and done. All right, cool. These are all loosely here. So that is complete. I'm now gonna secure the bottom one, which is the main thing holding this to the frame, the bottom part. That looks pretty good. All we gotta do is put the top plate on. And this should all fall into place, which it did. It's a, wow, that's be secure and tight. This thing is a snug fit. So let's see here. At first I was thinking that this was a kind of a tight build as far as the dimensions, but the way this is lined up, the tolerance is so tight that everything just kind of snaps into place, and I don't see much flex at all in much of these pieces, which is, I think, a good thing. But this thing is strong enough. I mean, a 5-inch drone to carry an action camera, this thing feels very weighted. I usually don't like to put this on till like the last second, but we're gonna make a little exception here today and just put the battery mat on here. All right, so that's that. The only reason I'm doing all this right now as well is I wanna wait and see how it looks. You also have your legs, your TPU, or this is actually plastic, injected molded plastic for your actual arms, protect the motors. And I also will not install these yet, only because I have to remove them again to put the motors on, but I will put it into the weighing. There's a lot of provisions made for a lot of accessories. Okay, so what I meant by that was that if you look closely at this frame here, nothing as far as accessories, electronics, they don't mount to the bottom plate. But there are cutouts on the bottom frame here to access the mid plate, which is where all the accessories mount to, whether it be your flight controller and ESC right here. You also have some holes to access it to get to your VTX holes back here. It's pretty cool that they did that, opposed to mounting it directly from the bottom plate. And here it is. Here's your Mario 5. So let's get the scale and we can weigh this. All right, so the frame by itself, Mario 5, dead cat version, 167 grams, not too bad. Action camera bolt, we'll need that for sure. 73, here's your TPU arms for the motors, 188. Then your mount here for your FPV camera, that didn't change much, 1 gram. And then your XT60 connector that goes into the back. And there you go, 193 grams. So that's not too bad. 190 grams isn't too bad. We'll see what the total is. I do also have a battery strap here, which I'll probably use as well. And come on, you went off. There you go. And then we can add this battery strap. Does it weigh that much? Damn, it's a heavy battery strap. 198 grams. I'll say, as far as first impressions, this thing is a beefy drone. It's stiff. At first I was kind of skeptical of how the mounting was, but this thing is really, really stiff. The arms are pretty thick. We're looking at 5.5 to 6 millimeters, and this thing is built like a tank, guys. I'm curious to see if the props are gonna be in view. I don't think they will be, but it looks really, really good. I wish the instructions were a little bit clearer on the website, not too clear, and this is not I would say this is not the simplest build. You know, it's not a crazy frame, meaning it's not too complex, but it gets a little bit complex when you have a lot of M3 or M2 holes and you don't know which bolt goes into where. It's not very, very clear. So, but besides that, it did come together pretty well. As I said, it looks like a nice frame, and you know, sometimes you have frames that can't accommodate certain stacks or electronics. I don't foresee any problems on here. This thing can hold a pretty big stack and ESC, as well as multiple VTXs, a lot of space back here, and you have the space here for a beeper if you want to. You have the access cover below here to see or to hit the bind button if you have an older style receiver. And then you also have this little groove in the center here, a cutout here for your capacitor. And that's something I struggle with previous builds. Even this one right here, this is the B35 by SpeedyBee. It's a really cool drone, but there just wasn't enough space for a full-size stack and for a capacitor to fit into this hole as well. So I had to get an actual external capacitor. So I'll leave links to this drone above and below so you can take a look at it. So let me know what you think about the Mario 5. I think it's a pretty cool drone. As I said, they have this in the Lite, the Advanced, and the Pro version. And you can get it in a dead cat version like I have right here, or the True X version. So I'll leave links to all these products down below. Let me know what you think about the Mario, guys. Pretty cool name, Mario 5. So anyways, if you want to see the build video of this one, what motors, ESC, flight controller, and what VTX I use on this one here, hit the subscribe button there for you to be notified whenever I do drop that build video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.